Told you, falling 2 places.
The pro tried to move around the outside. Oh, the classic done!
Takes Scalars again, and he goes for a jump.
Oh, there's got that!
How the hell did you get 10 seconds?
Something has happened there. Between the two teammates!
Oh, he looks. Oh, the contact!
Stu White, I think, goal.
Oh my!
Oh
my goodness, this is out!
And the championship winner, ladies and gentlemen, Starlight in the McLaren to cross the line and win the championship. Okay, 12 people racing so far. Interesting.
That shit lit, like, I'm fine. Yo, Melk, look at talking, yo.
Yeah, welcome everyone to round 5 of the MCS Championship Series. Season 4, today we come up with some action for you here in Monza on a track which is 5.8 kilometers long. We've got 12 drivers participating today, ready to give their best out on the track. In terms of the championship standings, at the moment, we have got Ryan technically in the lead with 52 points after losing his win streak because of a DNF last race in Hungary, Ryan's 4. Then in P2, we've got M.A. Vinci on its debut season in Tier 1 from Red Bull with 29 points. And then in P3, Rocco with 27 points in the Alpine. And the rest of following order is Gilhas, Sayenu, Danny and Benderman, who are both reserves, and Spooky Ducky in P9, and Splashy, who is also a new driver in P9. And in P10 would be their restaurants. As now our first player that's gonna go out is Stepanus in the McLaren.
Just saying I can't race.
Yeah. Today it's not gonna be such as an interesting race as other races, considering we've only got 12 drivers, but we'll see what the drivers can make the best out of it, and who can take the win home today and maximise points and get the 27 points, if possible. As we see right now, pretty much everyone is on their outlaps except for Noah, Nix, Nipsu, Dami and Emma Vinci. Those 4 drivers are still in their pit boxes, waiting to go out a bit later. As now Stepanus is taking the final corner, Parabolic, an iconic corner of all the corners in the F1 calendar, to go on to start his flying lap. He will be the first to do so here today at Monza. Flying down the main straight, trying to not get traffic coming out of the pit lane there. A bit of a lock up there going into the first chicane, but keeps the car under control. As now Stepanus in the McLaren finishes sector 1 into 25.9. Pretty decent time, I suppose so. Now going through Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2 are pretty much critical corners for sector 2 there. You can pretty much have a great sector 2 time, and his purple sector 1 is already stolen by another driver. And sector 2, 52.0 for Stepanus. Now going down the back straight, the McLaren driver. Now through an 11 Parabolica to then go on and round up the first lap of this session. It is a 118.4 for Stepanus, who takes provisional pole position. Gabby sets a 120.8. I'll round it up. Not so good for him, but of course, considering he's a tier 2 driver. Oh, Gabby just decides to not take the first chicane there and breaks pretty much all the foam boards available there, and just does it with Curvo Grande. Interesting choice, but whatever the drivers want, Gil has. No one's been able to beat Stepanus' time fully 300th of a second off. Now Gil has will be able to beat it. No! Nearly 0.5 of a second off Gil has. That's 118.7, but Danny. Watch out for Danny, ladies and gentlemen. Double purple. Will he be able to convert it into triple purple? Oh no, he doesn't, but he takes provisional pole by 0.09 of a second. He steals the pole from the McLaren with 13 minutes on the clock remaining, so pretty much anything can still happen. Anything can still. Now Dami finishing off sector 2, nearly 2 seconds off the pace What has happened to Dami, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, not F Prime anymore. We've got fully pretty much nearly on the racing line. But he lets Dami past. Ultimately, turn 11 Parabolica. Dami able to not go track limits on the exit, and that is a bad time for Dami. It's a 2 seconds off the pace. Noah in the first sector, 3/10 slower than Dani. Will he be able to compete with Dani's time and with Stephanie's time? Keep in mind the top 5 are separated by only 5/10 of a second, not a big margin for sure. Noah on how sector 2 was bad, so 1.4 seconds off the pace right now. I will be able to regain some of that lost time from sector 2 in sector 3. I will approach it in the break-in zone. Noah as a reserve in the kick. Adding up his lap now on the main straight. It's a 120.3, which puts him up into 9th position. And Stepanus on his out lap. The driver currently in P2. Danny and Philly are also going out for their out laps. But I reckon Stepanus will be the first one to, of the top 3 to start his second flying lap of this session. Now Stepanus trying to maximise his lap time here, because who knows, he might not get another chance. Not locking up anymore into turn 1, that's already a better sign than last time. Someone just skipped the first chicane, that was a Red Bull. I think that was Gabby again. But yeah, Stepanus, first sector. It's purple. 200 of a second faster than Dani's sector 1 time. Stepanus try not to invalidate there in Lesmo 1, that was really on the limits. Again, on the limits, using every limit of the track possible here. At this track, yellow flags and a green flag, that is just the Aston Martin leaving Stepanus to go through. Oh, and that's invalid for Stepanus. Oh no, a really great lap gone to a waste for the McLaren driver here. So unlucky. He will just give it a last shot at around maybe 2:30 minute mark when everyone goes out for the last lap. So unlucky. So unlucky for Stepanus, who has a real shot to pole, but fully also doing his lap now. 2/10 off the pace in sector 1, that is not so good, but it's only 500 of a second off his personal best. Who knows, he maybe ruined his lap in another sector, maybe sector 2 or sector 3. Oh, that's fully into the barriers there, and that's him going off, and that's front wing damage for him. That's 40% right front wing damage. For Philly, he was on a decent lap, but lost it in Lesmo 1. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen, for M.A. Vinci. Purple sector 1 by 0.003 of a second. Rocco taking fast in sector 2, 25.9. Will M.A. Vinci be able to steal that? Only 0.5 off the pace of Danny. That will put him up to around P5 or 6. Now, M.A. Vinci, with that Red Bull engine roaring down the back straight, and Danny sets fastest lap. He just goes on and sets a lap 700 faster than M.A. Vinci. pulls the car into the pits. He aborts his lap. Now, Dami also now trying to make something better out of it. 2/10 lap are in the first sector. Dami, then Dani. Not a big margin, but that Gill has also invalidated this lap. Many laps invalidated in the recent minutes of this qualifying session. I wonder if the track conditions may be changing, but it doesn't seem like. So I think it's just maybe just not steering enough, maybe braking too late. But Dami, a double green for Dami, looking pretty decent so far for him. Well, how much will he be able to improve his time? As you can see, half the grid is in the pits, half isn't. Like Dami, bit of a lock up there in Parabolica. And that's the Proco retiring from the session, and Dami finishing off his lap. Oh, only up to 10th, but the margin between first and 10th is only 9/10ths, which is pretty tiny compared to what we've seen in other races. Nixon Ipsu up to P3. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Nixon Ipsu in the V Cup up to P3. Oh my god. Driver who got fired from Ferrari in the winter transfer window now just pretty much redeemed himself by getting a P3. Only 9,000 of a second behind P2. The margin is now only 2/10 between P1 and P5. Oh my god. This is maybe the tightest P1 to P5 margin we've ever had in MCS qualifying. I'm just getting a confirmation. Daniel, it is instead of Dani. So yeah, Daniel from now on. M.A. Vinci, what a great sector. One time only 700 of a second off the pace. Now trying to. Oh no! That is complete disaster for M.A. Vinci, invalidating once again. Oh, in Lesmo 1, what an annoying corner that is. In the meantime, you can't take it too slow, but you also can't take it too fast. Oh, so unlucky for M.A. Vinci. Steppen is retiring from the session. Improved his time a bit, but it is not enough to take pole position. So as it stands right now, Daniel has full control over the pack. And Daniel starting his lap, going through the first chicane here. Now Curva Grande, oh, not so smooth on the steering there. He goes faster though, by 300 of a second. For Daniel, goes faster in the first sector. He's just looking to dominate the grid out here today. But who knows what the race has got in hand for him. Oh, that's nearly a big crash for Daniel there. And you can see what traction slip he had there. He's lost 1/10 of it. 800 of a second of the pace now. So it's still Nixon Ipsu or anyone who could take pole today here at Monza. Unless Daniel redeems himself. Going through Parabolica, and no, that is aborted lap for Daniel. So as it stands right now with 3 minutes remaining, Daniel is on top of the grid. Nixon Ipsu 1.2 10 slower in the first sector. It's a green sector one though. Nixon Ipsu trying to improve his time by a lot here so that he can maximise getting maybe that P1. Most probably it will be a P2 for Nixon Ipsu. But now everyone is out on track except for Daniel. Now Nixon Ipsu in the DRS zone, second of this track. Oh, only 7 thousandths of a second slower, Nixon Ipsu. Ladies and gentlemen, Nixon Ipsu. He is going to set a great lap here unless he messes it up in Parabolica. Now Nixon Ipsu going through the final corner. Oh no! What a bad last sector for Nixon Ipsu to remain in P3. Oh, what a disappointing end to that promising lap here. But now Splashy, a driver who 2 races ago seemed to be pretty fast, will be able to go in front. No, he doesn't, but he goes up to P2. Splashy in P2, 1/10 of Daniel's pole time. Noah, 1.7 seconds slower, keeps on being in P11. It has 3 thousandths lower in the first sector, if I'm right. So being careful there in left mode 2. Our first finished car of this qualifying session is Daniel. Gil has green sector 2, 4/10 of the pace of Daniel in sector 2, but still 1/10 better than his previous personal best. And Gil has onto Parabolica. Can he do it for the Scuderia? Can he or can he not? He can get them up to P7. It's not quite enough, but P7 for the Scuderia in the home race at Monza. Fully takes pole position, ladies and gentlemen. Fully pole position. The Mercedes driver takes pole position by 3/10 of a second, ladies and gentlemen. And watch out for Dami. Dami also improving. I think he's gone up to P6. What an amazing end to qualifying this is, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel has been in control for the qualifying session. Loses out on pole by 3/10. Fully in the Mercedes AMG. Petronas team takes pole position for round 5 of this championship series MCS season 4. Behind Philly we've got Daniel, Flashy, Stepanos, Nixon Ipsu had a great effort but just missed out. Dami in P6, Rocco in P7, Gil has in P8, the Pro Goats in P9, Emma Vinci P10, Noah P11, and Gabby in P12 in last position. And that is a wet race. I see some drops of rain there, ladies and gentlemen. This makes it 10 times more chaotic. intermediate type of weather though. But yeah, we will be taking a break and we will be right back. And now 5 red lights. And it is lights out. Who go for the Italian Grand Prix? Who gets the best start of the line? Will it be Philly? Will it be Daniel? And Daniel gets an amazing start and takes the lead of the race by 1 car length. Going into the chicane. Will there be any drama? And that's Philly forced off track. And the V Cup of Nixon Ipsu. And so is the Alpine of Rocco. And there's a big spin at the back of the pack. That's Rocco going down to last position. Now Steppen is still in P4, Splashy P3. Darby got position at the start. Darby had the best start of his life as he now gains 4 positions. Nixon Ipswich, what a lucky start for him, especially for Philly, who's already 1 second behind Daniel, and he's now down to P3. Our pulse here rough today. There's that breaking, and that's Nova going off there at the exit of Lesbo 2. Did he take someone out? A pro goat in P11, and that's Dami in Harry Vinci battling for P6. Will the Scuderia driver hold on to this position? No, he doesn't. It's still DRS in Naples, ladies and gentlemen. So DRS is still available, but Philly down to P4. I don't know what happened to him there. That's just the racecraft's gone to absolute bunkers, and no, that's Fully pushing Nixon Ipsu off the track nearly. A possible race strategies are now being presented. A one stop, and no, that's Nixon Ipsu and everything going off. That's the both Red Bull drivers. 1 V Cup and 1 main Red Bull. And that's Gabby ceding position to the 3 drivers. 1 Red Bull, 1 V Cup, and Ferrari battling for the position of P5. Hemi Vinci and P8. Oh, that's... I don't know what happened there. That's Nixon Ipsu coming off. And Emi Vinci too, what's happened there? Major chaos major midfield chaos there. Emi Vinci crashes into Nixon Ipsu. And they are both gone off the track and into the barriers. Now we are going 3 wide into the first chicane, and that's Noah going wide. He's just fully skipped the first chicane there. Yellow flag in sector 1. That is Noah who gets a 3-second time penalty. Steppen is already on his 2nd warning. And now Rocco battling with Gilhaz for P6. And Rocco takes the position cleanly. There's a Ferrari driver. That's Darby in P5. Will he be able to get the Scuderia podium on their home race? I don't think so, sadly. But as we now get the view on Darby, he was trying his best to get Ferrari a podium here at Monza, their beloved racetrack. But I just don't think he could. M.A. Vinci in P8, trying to get the position on Gilhaz, but it doesn't really. He just stays behind. He knows he's too far behind for a lunge, and that's M.A. Vinci gone wide in the parabolica. That's Splashy, who now has faster lap, but Nixon Nips, who takes it away in a matter of time. Now, the current gap between Splashy and Darnell is 1.5 seconds. Splashy just wants to get that podium, that P2 home for Aston Martin, who haven't been doing great this season so far. Nixon Ipsu now 2 tenths behind Gabby. Will he be going for the move? No, he waits for this car chicane 2. He goes side by side with Gabby on the back straight. On the outside, Nixon Ipsu, will he be able to keep the car on? No! Gabby and Nixon Ipsu make contact in turn 11 parabolica, and that Nixon Ipsu's front wing gone off. But Nixon Ipsu now got on Gabby, or has he? Gabby goes for a lunge, and Gabby gets ahead of Nixon Ipsu. Gabby doesn't give up, but what he did there at parabolica was dirty. Nixon Ipsu now fighting back. He's going to try and do the move around the outside. Is he going to stick it? No. Gabby stays ahead. What class defending from Gabby there. Already in lap 5 out of the 19, but now Nixon Ipsu, DRS on Gabby. Gabby's rear light is flashing. Gabby closes the door a bit, but Nixon Ipsu gets past Gabby in turn 8. Ascari chicane 2. Gabby, will we go back? Will we maybe do the lunge on Nixon Ipsu in parabolica? Nah, he knows he's too far behind, but he's just trying to brake later, win some more time on Nixon Ipsu, hoping for a driver error, but instead he loses 3 tenths, and that's fully now making the move on Stepanus in the chicane of turn 1 and turn 2, and that's fully now ups into the podium places again. Oh my god. M.A. Vinci's rear left tyre is practically burning alive. Already 35% after 6 laps. Wow. Now Splashy is closing the gap on Daniel. It's now only 4 tenths of a second. So we've got major contending for the race win. And Splashy sets another fastest lap for the 2nd time in a row. He thinks about making the lunge down the inside. He tries to sticky, but it won't work. Ultimately, it's Darnell who gets the better exit out of chicane 1. And that's Darnell just got off completely, and that's now Flashy taking the lead of the race after a driver error made by Darnell. Now on his second warning after possible free win before you get a 3-second time penalty. What did Darnell do there? Nick Sinipsus is now in front of Gabi by 5 seconds, and is now, instead of battling with Gabi, he's battling with the other Red Bull, M.A. Vinci, trying to get his revenge on him for what happened earlier on, but they make contact again. And that's Nick Sinipsu and M.A. Vinci both going off in the same place. And that's M.A. Vinci, I think, just parking the car to retire. At this point, what has happened there in Ascari chicane 2? That is M.A. Vinci with no front wing left. Nick Snipsu's gone all the front wing possible, but his tyres are practically going to be burnt alive in a second. Now the gap between Splashy and Darnell is getting bigger and bigger. It's now 6 tenths, 7 tenths. But instead of Darnell now being in the race lead, it is Splashy and M.A. Vinci now they're spinning. In turn 1, is both his front wings are gone. There's some donuts there. Yeah, but this isn't a ride in the rule book. This is against the rules. I think M.A. Vinci is just given up, but he just won't retire the car out of the menu. He just wants to call the safety car. Now Splashy. I think M.A. Vinci is now being lapped by the leaders, and that's now Gabby in the pits. So is Noah gone into the pits, and Dami, Scuderia Ferrari. Whoa! M.A. Vinci in the barriers. Pulls the safety car. That's gonna be massively investigated after the race. That has just given anyone who hasn't pitted yet the possibility to get a free pit stop. But the driver's at the back of the pack. It's just sad for them. They've just pitted, and now it is Phil Cole's safety car. I think my ass My eyes are in delusion, but I see 3 drivers, 4 drivers switching to a slick compound while it's still raining outside on the track. Well, that might be the riskiest move ever, but Rocco's just won 2 positions by pitting while he just pitted the lap before. That is pretty weird, but yeah, it's still Splashy in the race lead. More people. So 5 people on slicks. I mean, the track is obviously drying out, as you can see, but I just don't think it's the time of slicks yet. Still 8 laps to go on the safety car. I'd say 1 more lap, maybe 2. But yeah, Daniel, I don't know what he's done there. He's also pitted to mediums. Of course, he was in the race lead, but now he's down to P9. Why did he not pit earlier, maybe? That is what's just freaking me out. That's just what I don't understand. Gabby is now 21 seconds behind Noah, so there's around 30 seconds between Gabby and Daniel. So I think the safety car will stay out for 1 more lap until the safety car automatically needs to go in. Yeah, but concluding maybe some of the drivers going to slicks haven't made that bad of a decision, because I wanted to green flag the safety car. It is, come on, in this lap, and it's a green flag. Splashy taking the restart. Fully behind them. Splashy is going to take the outsides for turn 1. Fully with the light on the inside, and there's some contact between the 2 drivers there. Oh my god, but that's Splashy still in the lead, and that's Nami with 10-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Oh, what bad news for the Scuderia. Now Fully with the ERS. Whoa, that's major contact there. That's Splashy's front wing gone off, and that's Fully spun around in the middle of the track. Oh my god, oh no! And that's the Pro Goat major contact with Fully. Oh my lord, what a race is this? That's just, I think that's 3 wide into less mode 2. What a restart! Dami up to P3, Nixon up to P2. And Nixon up to making the move for P2, launching down the inside, stepping us in P4. Fully in P10. Oh my lord. Oh! Nearly completely losing the car in Parabolica there. Oh, this is scary, ladies and gentlemen. Stephanus going to lunge down the inside. Oh, I think there was some contact there between him and Rocco, but that's Stephanus regaining his P4. Maybe the Slicks weren't that great of an option there because everyone on Slicks seemed to be struggling. Daniel, previous race leader, was now up to P6. He's on Slicks, remember that? But as the weather radar said a couple of minutes ago, the chance of rain, possibility of rain, it's only going to get higher as further we get into the race. Oh, Daniel, he just wants to get back onto that podium because he knows he's got the speed in him to do that. Still 5 laps remaining. That's Daniel. That's Daniel on the pit straight. Are we gonna go 3 wide into the first chicane? No, we aren't. But that's 2 wide, and that's Rocco being forced wide, and that's Daniel on the outside. That's Daniel making contact with Stephanus there. Rocco 3 seconds time penalty for corner cutting, and that's Stephanus on the outside of Curva Grande. And Gil has side by side with Stephanus into the second chicane of this track. Gil has battling with Stephanus with P4. That's a 4-way battle for P4. 4-way battle. Let's move on. Evelina on speed there, and that's Rocco nearly losing control of the car. The last car in the 4-way battle is now falling down some time. Gilhaz, will he make the lunge? Down the inside on Stephanus, on another car which again 2, that's both of them going off. That's both of them on the grass, and that's both of them making contact with each other. And that's Noah trying to go past them, but they just block him off, and that's Noah staying behind. But Stephanus and Gilhaz both going off, and no one profits off it. Oh my God! That's 2 wide into the first chicane. Stephanus nearly spinning there. Whoa, what a race! And that's Rocco. That's Rocco gone off. Rocco off the track. That's fully into the barrier. Fully into the barriers there. Both the front wings are gone. Yellow flag in sector 1. And that's fully in P10. Gilhaz and Stephanus are taken. Again, will they again have contact in Ascari chicane? In Variante Ascari. Now Gilhaz side by side, and he is 1 car length ahead of Stephanus. Both the drivers are on slicks. Remember that. And that's fully of the race, and that's a safety car. That's a safety car. That's a safety car, ladies and gentlemen, and that's fully the NF out of the race. Oh my lord! Fully into the barriers. Lap 16 out of 19. Could we have a finish on the safety car? Oh my god, this plan. This overcut from Splashy is absolute perfection. Now a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. There are 2 retirements this race. Oh my lord. And that's just completely mixed up the game. Darby needs to get rid of that 10-second penalty to keep the podium dreams alive for the Scuderia. Otherwise, he will be maybe the most unluckiest driver ever. Not ever, but what? That's Noah aggressively warming up his tyres, and that's Noah into the wall on the softs compound. That's front wing damage for him, and he nearly took out Rocco with him too. What am I seeing, lads? It's supposed to be a safety car. This race is absolute cinema. From start to finish, lap 17 now. Oh my God. I cannot believe my eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, safety car in this lap. And is the top three together. Then you've got a massive gap between Darby and Daniel. Oh my God, Noah. 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. He may as well just retire the car at this point. Now, through Parabolica. 2 more laps of racing action. And it's a green flag. And it's go-go for the second safety car restart of this race. Splashy leads the race. And no, that's Stepanus. That's already a yellow flag in sector 3. Oh, that's Nixon Ipsu. We're going 2 wide into the first chicane. Nixon Ipsu. And Darby forced to go wide. Darby front wing damage. Stepanus. Oh my God, Darby, 20-second time penalty. And that's Splashy into the lead. Nixon Ipsu keeping the P2. Darby down into P3 with a 20-second time penalty. Stepanus spinning before the safety car restart has sent him into the barriers at Parabolica with front wing damage now. Now Nixon Ipsu chasing Splashy for that race win. We've only got 1.5 laps of racing action remaining. Oh my God, Nixon Ipsu, only 2 tenths behind Splashy. Will he go for a move down the back straight before Parabolica? Is he going for the lunge? And now he's staying behind Nixon Ipsu, thinking smart to not make the lunge down the inside. Ladies and gentlemen, and now we have entered the final lap of the race. It's still a battle for P1. Nixon Ipsu and Splashy both battling for P1. Whoa, that's the contact there. That is some contact. Nixon Ipsu's front has touched the back of Splashy's car. The gap is now 5 tenths between the 2 drivers. Who will be taking the trophy home? Will it be Nixon Ipsu or will it be Splashy? Nixon Ipsu pushing for his life, trying to take his first win in Tier 1. Nixon Ipsu. Oh my God. It has Nixon nearly losing control of the car. in less than one, and that's his contention for a win. Gone straight to shambles there. And that is now Splashy, who has had an amazing race. If he does not mess it up here, or in Parabolica, he will be the one taking the trophy home. Splashy has ridden an amazing race. Started in P3, now in P1. So unlucky for Nixon Ipsu. Just short of P2. But as Splashy now win the Aston Martin, crosses the line to take the checkered flag and win the Italian Grand Prix by 1.6 seconds. What a race! What a race! Splashy wins in Monza after a chaotic race. Dami gone down all the way to P6. It's a P6 and 7 for Ferrari. Dami actually down into P7. Stepanus in P4, just short of a podium. Spinning on the restart. What a race. That is Splashy, driven an amazing race. Takes his first win of the season. Yeah, what an amazing race this was. Full of action. Just full of action. I have no words. And now our podium finishers, and it's Splashy with the Lewis Hamilton celebration, who wins the Italian Grand Prix and lifts the trophy, who is followed up by Nixon Ipsu in P2 and Daniel, who started in P2 in P3. Well done to everyone who's participated today, especially to Splashy, who wins today to take a massive step forward in the World Drivers' Championship. That means he gets 26 points, and that means he is now gone up to P2 technically in the standings. Well done to everyone. Very unlucky for Emi Vinci and Philly, who both retired from the race. Ultimately it's Aston Martin who is the profiting constructor going out of this race. Nixon Ipsu, a great race driven by you strategically and physically, but when the last safety car came out, what did you think? Did you think it was did you think you were profiting of it, or did you think it was just gone for better for other drivers?
I don't know.
I
don't really know.
Yeah, and that last lap battle with Splashy, that
Bro, I
ended
saw
up
that.
with you.
I battled.
Yeah, you nearly spun in less mode 2 there, which made you lose 1 second on Splashy. Or if you wouldn't have nearly spun there, did you think you still had? I mean, did you think you had the race maybe in your hands?
Yeah. But I'm still happy. First P2 in tier 1.
Yeah, and I mean, pretty much, this whole race and qualifying in general, how did you pretty much feel? How did it go for you? Were you really proud about it, or did you think you could have driven better?
I don't know. Better my quali pace. I was like 5/10 off. And yeah, my race pace was good today. I was last and I got P2.
Yeah, that's a great recovery drive from you, Nixu. Well, thanks for your time. I will see you next time. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, next up, I see that it's Rocco in the audience, so we'll invite him. Hello, Rocco. This race was, I mean, pretty eventful. You know, you were involved in pretty much incidents, but I mean, the most of them weren't even your fault. I mean, if you weren't involved in a lot of those incidents, did you think you could have gotten a better result today?
Yeah, I was involved in many incidents, and I don't know what are people doing. It's like driving it's like driving the open lobby. I was involved at least in 5 incidents. I don't know what is Noah doing. I don't know what is McLaren doing. But yeah, I don't care. It's okay. I could be definitely up with the guys on the podium maybe, but yeah.
Yeah. Qualifying wise today, you weren't either that good, but of course the gap between P1 and P8, let's say, was I think less than 5/10. I mean, obviously, did you think your qualifying could have gotten better? That you could have gotten a better time?
Yeah, I had half a second in the back easily, but Noah was no, AI of Noah was driving and he impeded me. So yeah, maybe I could get pole, but I don't know. We will never know. But yeah.
Yeah, and of course, I think you finished P5. I think no
7.
P7. P7. That's of course unlucky. That doesn't help you at all in the standings. That only gives you what's that? 6 points.
My wheel, sorry.
That only gives you 6 points. So that will put you on a total of 33 points. That normally should as well just put you in P3 in the standings, but of course it's unlucky to have such a bad result because I could have had a better one. Do you think you will have maybe a podium next race?
Yeah, I think I can hang on that P3, but I don't know if people are driving like this. Everything is possible. So yeah, we will see. I will report the guys. So maybe I will pick up a few more places if they check the ticket. I got unfair 3-second penalty. McLaren killed me a few times, so maybe it will be better result.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for your time, Rocco. We'll see you next time.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, now I guess Dami will come on the stage. Hello, Dami. You bought on the podium today, mate. Home. Yeah. I mean, what was that with like those 30 seconds penalty? I think. What just happened there?
Well, in the safety car restart, the Pro Goat wasn't driving. It was his AI, I think. I passed him. I wanted to let him by. I lifted on the straight, and he just wasn't passing me. His AI wasn't passing me. I got a 10-second time penalty because he just didn't want to pass me on the straight. And the other 10-second time penalty, you can see clearly that was not my fault. Nipsu shouldn't drive in MCS. That's all I'm gonna say about him.
Okay. And then also, you were driving a P3 today. So you finished the race physically over the line in P3. Do you think you'll still get P3? Because I don't think those penalties will count.
I'm very hopeful. It's possible for GFI members to not do a decision that helps me. But anyway, I'm gonna take any play that I get since it's still points.
I don't think I have any more questions for you, Dami.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye bye. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was it for today's race of round 5, Tier 1 Monza. Chaotic race today. And we'll see you next time for Singapore on the 17th of May. Bye bye.